Go.
Just wondering if any update on Gino Smith and what his availability for this week.
Yeah, it looks like he does not have a high ankle sprain, but he sprained his ankle, and so we'll see what that means. Don't know right now, but it's significant, though.
When we get a better idea,
Pardon me?
as far as playing on Sunday, when we have a better idea.
Well, we'll just go day to day and see what's happening, but it's gonna be hard for him to play. I think be a challenge.
Would
see what happens.
would you open up the competition this week for?
Sure. Sure.
Not ready to name a starter.
No, well, I mean, let's just see what happens here and give us a couple days here. We'll figure it out. I'm anxious to see Kenny and Aiden play if they get the chance. So we'll see how that goes.
Pete, watching the game again last night, I was surprised not surprised that he can't, but Malcolm Coons had, even watching the game, a better game than what I saw watching live. What did you think of his evaluation? Just kind of as
He was really active. You know, he was active on the run and the pass game. He was getting off the tackle and, you know, had played a factor in running plays as well as pass plays. Didn't get home like we'd hoped, you know, but he still he really went for it. He knew that he had to really play up, and we needed the activity from him, and I thought he came through in that regard.
And the offensive line played so well in Houston, and it certainly struggled yesterday. I'm curious, what causes that? What did you see that maybe you saw a difference in the performance of the offensive line between the two games?
There's a guy named Dexter Lawrence that had a hell of a game against us yesterday. He really dictated what was going on inside. And they've got two terrific edge guys. Those guys, you know, and I know Houston does too, but in this matchup, it seemed like their inside guys were more of a factor than the Houston guys were. And you know, we lost Parm, you know, right off the bat. He was sick coming off the pregame, and so you know, Mafi jumped in, had to play, and Caleb had to go up against him, and they were tough matchups.
What are you looking to get out of this last week from your team?
I'd like to have fun playing football. Practice with a lot of energy. Get ready for a game. We're playing Kansas City. They won the freaking division for 10 years straight or whatever it is. It'll be fun to play them. Fun to go against Andy to me, and so I'm gonna. There's no reason for us to think about anything other than playing ball. And so from the locker room, that's what I said to him afterward, that we got 1 week to do something special. Let's make sure that we do everything we can to create that, and we'll see what happens.
You mentioned that you expected Max to be back in the building today. Is that the case? And
Yeah, he's here.
Had a chance to talk.
Yeah.
How are those conversations?
We were just texting last night. I haven't seen him this morning.
Whether it's players,
He's here.
whether it's players or philosophies, would you say there's any building blocks just around the building that make you, you know, optimistic for the future? And how do you continue to build around that?
Well, we're just going to keep going like we go, and that we just try to make it as hard for everybody as possible to compete to be the player that they're capable of being. And there's going to be opportunities now for, you know, tremendous opportunities for acquisitions to add to the team. We'll see how that goes, but we'll just try to continue to make it as competitive in all spots as we can possibly make it. And our guys have taken to the mentality. They know when I say stuff like that, they know what I'm talking about, and they have to rise up every day and battle against each other and try to see what, you know, who can win and who's going to, you know, get on the highlights the next day in the meetings and all that. And that's the foundation of it. It's where you're coming from, and we're coming to compete to be as good as we can possibly be. And we know this team a lot better now. We know who we got, and we'll do everything we can to make it as good as possible.
Throughout the course of the season, there's been guys like Devin White or Eric Stokes have kind of been, you know, written off because of injuries in other places. You talked about it, and they've had the seasons that they've had. I guess, how proud of you are those guys, you know, to really, you know, come in here and make themselves really intricate parts of this defense?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind this place being known for, you know, bring me your tired, bring me your weak, you know, bring me your feeble masses or whatever it is. You know, guys come here for a little resurrection. That's a good thing. Jamal, you know, came back to us and played some good football for us this year, and Devin has certainly had a really productive year. Really fired up about Stokes, you know, because just the DB thing and the corner thing, and this is kind of what we told him was going to happen. And if he'd come with us, and he trusted us, and he had a heck of a season, you know, and so. It's important for us to be a place where guys can show who they are and what they're all about, and so that's the environment that we create and the culture that we have, and hopefully we can keep building on that.
What did you see on the kickoff return? Looking back on it,
Hey, we got blocked. Yeah, they blocked us, and Tommy, who has had a terrific finish to this season on special teams, had a chance on the play. Johnny Radigan had a chance on the play. Some guys had shots at it, and they blocked us really well, and they hit it exactly right. The kick was just right for them to hit it at full go, and all those factored into, the guy came ripping through us. It was really a change in the game. 2010 with a good drive, we felt like we didn't get to field very long, but we felt like that was the statement we needed to make to build a comeback, and then to be smacked in the teeth with that one. That was a tough one to take.
I know you just talked about the status of Gino Smith. I was wondering, what's the status of Adam Butler? I think he had the little box.
Yeah, Adam, it's different than what initially we thought. It isn't a strained bicep. He got smacked really hard, and it deadened his ability to use his arm. But he has a chance to be okay with that. It's not nearly as serious as we might have thought.
With that in mind, will that dictate whether he plays or not on Sunday? What do you think his availability?
This is not a surgery type of injury or anything like that. We're not talking about that. He got a helmet in his bicep that hit the nerve, and it went dead. He couldn't use his arm, but he can bounce back from that. So he's got a bruised bicep, I think, is really the way they're talking about it. So I'm not sure if that's what you were asking, but that's
perfect.
okay.
With it being the last game of the year, Pete, do you look at an Eichenberg, a Pegues, Tonka, Grant, and those guys and think about, all right, let's get some film so we can know what we're working with more in the offseason?
Yeah.
Does that go into your thinking?
Yes, and they all played extensively for what they had been playing yesterday. We'd love to get those guys on the playing field. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I would love to say that everybody's dressing is playing, everybody's getting play time, and get a chance to contribute.
Pete, you mentioned on Sunday about the conversations you've had with ownership. I was wondering,
You mentioned
it. Okay. Yes, that's it. But I was wondering, did those conversations include Tom Brady at all?
Like I've said to you, I've talked regularly with Tom throughout the year.
At this point in the year, with Colton missing the time that he did, does it make sense to bring him back for 1 week, or is that?
Well, he didn't make it back last week, to full go, and he didn't look quite fully, able to go. And he's worked hard. He's practicing with us, but he's getting limited reps. He's getting 2 or 3 reps, a period. I think it's going to be a stretch, but let's see how he feels in response to it. It's really going to be up to him to see if he can show us that he can go. And if he could, he won't play, sure.
You mentioned interactions with Max last night. Were they a little positive, or are you still a little upset about not playing? Or?
We're doing great, really. We're eye to eye on what's going on.
That's good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.